Turning our attention now to the ASX, here's Matt Birney and Bulls and Bears with the latest public company views and interviews.
Welcome to Bulls and Bears, brought to you today by Surefire Resources, ASX code SRN. I'm Matt Birney and I'm joined now by the Managing Director of Surefire Resources, Paul Burton. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Matt.
Okay, so Surefire has 3 mineral projects scattered between Geraldton and Leinster in central WA, the Yidby Gold project, the Pernjori high-grade magnetite iron ore project, and the Victory Bore Vanadium project that was also recently found to have a solid high-purity alumina resource hiding amongst the vanadium. With respect to Victory Bore, Surefire has just announced the signing of a curious and potentially lucrative MOU with the Saudi Arabian Government's investment arm that will ultimately see vanadium and potentially even HPA concentrate from Victory Bore shipped from Geraldton for downstream processing and marketing in Saudi Arabia. Okay, Paul, we'll get into that in a minute, but firstly, what's the vanadium and the HPA resource size at Victory Bore now?
Well, for the vanadium, we've got 321 million tonne, grading at just under 4% V2O5. And for the aluminium oxide, we've got 37.7 million tonnes at 23.3% aluminium.
Do you have a formal exploration target beyond that resource estimate, or is that pretty much finished now, that resource?
Oh, no, we do have a very large exploration target, just subject to more confirmatory drilling. It's 1 billion to 1.5 billion tonnes, grading 0.2% to 0.43% vanadium.
Okay, so you've just signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Ministry for Investment. What exactly are Saudi Arabia's obligations under that MOU?
Well, under the MOU, they've agreed to assist us exclusively to locations for potential processing plants, introductions to respective Saudi Arabian companies interested in being partners in this venture of ours. There's other investment opportunities with other resources, particularly vanadium-type resources in Saudi that they would like us to look at. And there's a number of incentives that they can introduce to us as well, including up to 75% of any capex.
Okay, and what are Surefire's obligations under that MOU?
Well, under that, we agree that we're going to consider the processing of all our Victory Bore feedstock in KSA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which includes the vanadium and the aluminium. We can bring in our engineering expertise for partners that we've used before. We know that can build these plants in this vicinity. We will agree to supply the feed across to the entity that we create in Saudi, and the process plant is going to be located in areas of obviously infrastructure and good power, which is close to the port. Very
quickly, why Saudi Arabia? Does it have a need for a lot of vanadium?
Yeah, they've got 41 steel plants that they need to service. They import all of their vanadium at the moment. They have an annual requirement of around about 10 to 12,000 tonnes per annum for vanadium pentoxide. And then if we introduce the vanadium redox batteries, which is part of their electrification and scheme to move over to alternative energies, there's a considerable demand for the feedstocks and the products that we can supply.
Paul Burton from Surefire Resources, thanks for joining me on Bulls and Bears. And remember, we're only here to give you information, not advice, which you should of course seek independently. I'm Matt Birney and this is Bulls and Bears.
For more public company interviews, go to the Money page on the 6PR, 2GB, 3AW and 4BC websites and click the Public Companies tab.